Hi, we've been telling you for weeks, the woke and political culture and the politically correct culture is done under President Trump. You've been seeing that, you've been watching it. He's gone to bat for high schools in small towns across the country, fighting to preserve their Indian heritage, Native American imagery. Just look at Massapequa, my town, where the community is taking on the state to keep the name Chiefs because no one's offended by it. But the biggest and most high-profile fight, the battle over the Washington Redskins name. Is the name really a slur? Was it something created by wealthy executives? Or is there something more to the story? It's time to get the real story with someone whose family lived it. Joining us now, well, his dad coached the team during the pivotal era we're talking about, when the Redskins shifted from the iconic yellow helmet that looked too much like the Packers to the classic burgundy and gold with the American Indian chief head on the helmet. So why did the team change the name, and why is President Trump now fighting to bring it back? Joining me now, the former governor and senator from Virginia, George Allen himself, whose dad was coach at the time, and also played in the WFL for a while. Senator, great to see you. What's the real story? How did that Indian chief head get on the helmet?
All right, let me get the context of all of this. My father was also general manager of the Redskins, but way before that, his first head coaching job was in Sioux City, Iowa, for Morningside College, and he took an interest in the history and American Indians generally, and especially one called Red Cloud, Chief Red Cloud. And he set up through the years, even when he was with the Bears in the mid-'60s, the Red Cloud Athletic Fund to get sports equipment to the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota. So he eventually gets to the Redskins. Vince Lombardi had switched the helmet to a gold helmet, as you said, or yellow helmet with the R on it, like the G in the Green Bay Packers. Chief Blackie Wetzel of the Blackfeet tribe in Montana, who had been president of the National Congress of American Indians, came to my father, and he knew my father's interest and support for American Indians. And he said, "We don't like this R." And my father said, and this was 1972, my father's second year with the Redskins, and my father said to him, "Well, what would you like? To make a suggestion?" So Chief Wetzel went back to the Blackfeet tribe and counseled with his tribe and other tribes, the Crow and others in Montana, and came back with two suggestions. And one of them was this logo on the helmet right there. That is an actual Blackfeet Nation chief by the name of Two Guns White Calf. So when they have these folks putting like a no parking sign through that logo was recommended, designed, and advocated by American Indians, and not just American Indians, but a leader of the National Congress of American Indians. And the reality is, 90%, the Washington Post a few years ago did a poll on this, and they were all against the Redskins name, but 90% of American Indians support the name. They're not offended. And in fact, all of this, there's a book written by Mike Richmond about my father, very meticulous book, and they devoted 3 pages just to this issue of the Redskins logo. Senator Daines of Montana is trying to push for this. I know a chief here in Virginia, Chief Red Hawk of the Cherokee tribe, and he says, they're always trying to erase our Indian heritage and our culture. They had a paper genocide in some states of American Indians. And he says they look at it, 90%, at least in these polls, look at it as a tribute, not a disgrace or demeaning.
So, Senator, do you want the president to hold off on stadium funding until they flip the name back?
Well, here's the thing. The president's on the popular side. And let me say this to the president and anybody watching. If they listen to these folks that say this name is derogatory, on the Navajo Nation lands, there's a high school called Red Mesa. The name of their team, the Redskins. Their logo is this Redskins logo. The only difference is they have a turquoise band around it. So if it's so demeaning and demoralizing and insulting, why do the Navajo, who are famous code talkers in World War II, why are they against it? So I think the president's on the right side of this. Now, he has jurisdiction because the new stadium is going to be on federal land, and so they're kind of like sub-lessees.
Right.
So I think he's certainly on the popular side of it. And by the way, to the owners of the Redskins, as opposed to calling them, I call them the woke commodes, because WC everywhere means water closet. If they want to make a lot of money, if they brought this logo back and if they brought the name back, they would sell so much merchandise and make tons of money.
I think the president's going to call you up to tell the real story in front of the cameras because you have great credibility. He knows of your dad. If he didn't meet him one-on-one, everybody who grew up during that era knows he was a dominant personality and the type of guy everybody wanted to play for. So that's why he produced such a great son. Senator and Governor, thanks so much for joining us with The Real Story.